Um, Hello everyone. Welcome to the Jack Halford Podcast. I'm Jack Halford. I'm eating a chocolate-filled crepe. Now, today I've decided I am going to do an ultramarathon. What ultramarathon I want to do is a 100-mile ultramarathon on a 400-metre track somewhere in Cambridgeshire. It's in 3 months. I don't know if there's any tickets left. Cost £100. Will I be able to do it? I don't know. I kind of want to have a go at it. Just the very idea of me paying that money to do it hasn't already sort of motivated me to get up this morning and start running longer distances at a very slow pace, to get used to running at a very slow pace for long periods of time. So I'm doing like 10-minute miles, which probably still isn't slow enough. I feel like I need to be doing 13, 14, 15-minute miles for the majority of a 100-mile run. The rules also indicate that you can't use headphones to listen to music. You're not allowed to bring any spectators or friends or family. This seems like a very difficult thing. Very flat though. So where I'm training at the minute is basically in the Peak District. So it's quite hilly. Derbyshire, Nottinghamshire way. Hilly. So I think training in the hills and then going to a 400-metre track will be a hell of a lot of difference. So I might. There's a sports centre that I'm sort of a member of three different gyms at the minute because of stupid direct debits. So I may have a go on the 400-metre track to see how many times I can go around it. See how boring it is. I think it's probably very boring. I think that's the idea, is this sort of repetitiveness of it and the lack of changes and no music. It will really put me in the moment and really test me to my limits. I have to run over 10 times what I've run this morning, which is the longest I've run for a while, and only like 6 miles, 7 miles. 3 months. Is it long enough? I don't know if it's long enough to build that amount of endurance or not. But I'm sure that 3 months is better than a few weeks. So I might bet on myself and just go for it. Start slow. Eat loads of chicken. Drink loads of water. Start experimenting with electrolytes. Thinking about my plan. Investing in the clothing. Making my practice about endurance. It already looks at exercise and endurance, but I think the fact that I'm thinking of doing this type of thing, even if I don't finish, which I will eventually, I think it's something that art should be looking into more. I think, for God's sake, I mean, just how much normal people endure on a daily basis anyway. There's so many things that people are just carrying, and I think that my art tries to relate to that, tries to relate to the universality of this constant pain we are all, having to deal with all of the time. Grief, hating a job, blah blah blah, existentialism, blah blah blah. I'd like to express that in a sort of like a colourful way, using sort of microbiological imagery to help people. I want to do workshops where I take sort of human anatomy, the microphotographs of biological matter, cell tissue, so that people that have problems, have ailments, have chronic pain, have diseases like cancer, can then take these images of that they don't often see because histology isn't really part of patient care, and start to use that to inspire artworks where they then take ownership of this illness and they say, you know what, this doesn't define me as a person. I'm transforming this into the person that I actually am, and I'm changing it so that it actually, sort of accessorizing disease with trinkets, sort of say, look, this is me, this doesn't define me. Much like how we do that area, whack on some makeup, put on a brave face. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, I think we're all enduring stuff. I think life is an endurance sport, but I really do want to push myself. When I push myself, I feel better, which is, part of the reason I wrote Man Up, which is a zine I made to help people get out of depressive ruts they find themselves in. Reading from the introduction, in a world where definitions of masculinity have evolved and societal expectations continue to shift, we find ourselves in a time of unprecedented change. Man Up has become more than just a phrase. It embodies a profound reality that men face today. Our understanding of what it means to be a man is no longer confined to traditional stereotypes or rigid molds. Instead, masculinity has taken on a dynamic and fluid form, adapting to the diverse experiences and expressions of men in contemporary society. See, from my point of view, I see so many different kinds of men. You've got baristas, you've got people cutting patterns in fashion houses, you've got artists, you've got carpenters. The carpenters might well like a fruity cocktail and they might like a bit of it up the bum. So there's all different types of men. There's men that like wearing dresses, and there's men that wouldn't like that at all, that are working on like a naval ship, which is funny because we all think of sort of men in the Navy as being gay boys, but they're not all, of course. 99% of them are, but 1% of them aren't. So we need to talk about the diversity of masculinity in contemporary culture. The journey of exploring masculinity in this book is a profound one. It delves into the nuances, challenges and opportunities that arise when we embrace a more flexible and inclusive perspective on what it means to be a man. We'll navigate through the delicate balance of vulnerability and strength, challenge harmful stereotypes and celebrate the rich diversity of masculine identities that extend beyond the binary. So vulnerability and strength. The balance of vulnerability and strength. I think it takes strength to be vulnerable. I think you have to be strong to be vulnerable, and to be vulnerable is kind of a strong thing to be able to do. And I think often a lot of people, a lot of men, they don't want to be that because they see it as weak. But it's that it's not. The thing is, if you don't talk about what's wrong, it will never get solved. If you don't think about it, if you don't talk about it, if you don't have a plan of action to deal with the problem, it will never get solved, and it will get worse, and you'll get deeper in that hole. You have to share. You have to solve the problems. You can't just go to the gym. You have to take the headphones off, start to deal with the problem, write things down, talk to your friends and family you trust. You're in a circle, go to a therapist. There's no shame in it. There's no shame in it at all. And it's okay to be sad and to cry. It's better to do that than to top yourself. Because a lot of people think about it all the time. Because it's fucking relentless. Just stuck in average life is relentless. The idea of having a minimum wage job and not being able to afford a holiday very easily. You have to work for some arsehole telling you what to do all the time. It's a fucking horribleness, isn't it? Modern life. So there's no shame in it feeling shit. You might get told, or toughen up, man up, whatever. Well, I'm not telling you to man up with this. I called it man up because I don't like that phrase. I think it's fucking outdated, but I'm changing what it means. It means man up, embrace your vulnerability. Your vulnerability is your strength. But this book is more than just an exploration of masculinity, it's a call to action. It's a reminder that regardless of where we fall on the spectrum of masculinity, we all share the human experience. We all grapple with emotions, uncertainties, and moments of darkness. Yet too often, men are encouraged to face these challenges in silence, constrained by societal expectations. Embracing man up means breaking free from these constraints. It means fostering environments where open conversations about emotions, mental well-being, and the multifaceted nature of masculinity are not only encouraged but celebrated. It's a reminder that seeking support, whether from trusted individuals or professionals, is not a sign of weakness but a testament to strength. As we embark on this journey, let's challenge preconceptions, nurture resilience, and celebrate progress. Man Up aims to empower you with insights, strategies, and stories that inspire positive change. Together we can shape a world where masculinity is no longer defined by limitations but thrives in its ever-evolving, diverse and authentic forms. Be yourself. You can't be anyone else. Do you know what I mean? You can't be anyone else. Stop trying to be something you're not. Stop going in the shop and buying stuff you don't really want to wear to impress people you don't even fucking like. Like Fight Club, they said that on Fight Club. I'm licking it from Fight Club. And that fucking thing is a fucking self-destructive shithouse, isn't it? Just tearing away at themselves, for God's sake, not caring about themselves. And if you do that, you're going to go deeper into that hole just like they did, and then everything's going to fucking blow up. So don't do that. Get out there with other people, with other men, and chat over coffee, and go for runs, and just fucking do all this shit you see on the social medias at the minute. Like the ice plunges and the cold exposures and the running and the weightlifting, and just talk it out in these spaces. These spaces are for men. They're not just to like, they're for all men. Everyone is welcome in these spaces. Just go to them without preconceptions of what a man is. You know, you might see some really tough looking bloke, but inside he's not. We're all fucking soft and mushy, really. We all have emotions, so unless you're a fucking psychopath or something. Everyone's got emotions and feelings that they're fucking grappling with, alright? So don't have preconceptions of anyone. I work with all types of people, from little squirts to like elderly people, people that have health conditions, and I have worked with them. Everyone's got something in common. You know what I mean? Masculinity in flux signifies that masculinity is not a one-size-fits-all concept. Traditional understandings of masculinity are changing and becoming more dynamic. It reflects the idea that masculinity is no longer fixed or static, but rather experiences a shift or fluidity in how it is perceived and expressed in contemporary society. The varying comfort levels of men with vulnerability stem from personal experiences. If a man has received compassion and support early in his life when expressing his emotions, like I kind of did from some people and then didn't from others, and I think a lot of people have that. So it's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, is it okay and is it not okay? Yeah, it's okay. People are cunts, basically. But yeah. You'll have a good experience if you've expressed emotions without being made to feel weak or inadequate. You'll grow up understanding that showing emotion is not a weakness. In such cases, you're less likely to suppress feelings. However, on the other end of the spectrum, some men are ridiculed for displaying vulnerability, leading to feelings of resentment and self-consciousness out of fear of not meeting societal expectations of being man enough. They may hide their vulnerabilities. And you see that a lot, and then people top themselves. Again, people are doing this all the time. Over 70% of people that commit suicide are men. And I think that has a big thing to do with just bottling everything up. Because you think you need to act strong, you don't. No, we're all fucking blobs, even the muscular ones, the fucking blobs. We're all just blobs, mate. It's important to recognise that everyone finds it challenging to deal with emotions. Yeah, we all find it hard. Men, women, trans people, whoever the fuck you are, I don't give a shit. We all find it hard to regulate emotions. Sometimes it's very difficult. As I said before, we have this abundance of things going on in life. There's all these noises and all these lights, engines blaring. Even if you're in the middle of nowhere, there's something happening, and you're not in the moment, you're thinking about the things you need to do, and then you're grappling with all this other stuff, this grief, this fucking feeling that you're not good enough, you're not earning enough. Don't compare yourself to other people, just compare yourself to yourself only, and try to get a little bit better every day. We shouldn't feel the need to conceal our emotions from those we trust. If people genuinely care, they will listen and offer support, just as they would hope for in return. Engaging in deep conversations and active listening with friends or loved ones fosters intimate bond of trust and security. Having someone to talk to about anything is incredibly valuable. However, if sharing with those close to you feels uncomfortable, seeking therapy is a viable option. Therapists provide a confidential space to listen, guide, and offer appropriate advice. Sometimes the guidance may involve writing down and reflecting on emotions to gain a better understanding of their triggers. Now, I've done this. I've been to therapy. She told me I need to start journaling. I need to start thinking of, like, when I'm angry, when I'm sad, what has led up to that. Write it down in the moment, or as soon as you can. You'll start to see patterns. You'll start to see, like, what have I done that day that's led me to explode, that's led me to this high emotional feeling. And often it could be linked to our routines and our habits, which is why I read a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear, which is all about your daily habits and how building habits and sort of shifting them to be automatic habits by just doing them repetitively over and over and over again until it becomes sort of an automatic thing you don't think about, can really help with emotional regulation and stress levels and get you back on track so that you can function without breaking down on a regular basis. I would highly recommend reading that. You can get his audio book for free if you sign up to Audible with a new email address. Sign up to Audible, cancel after a month, you get it for free. Yeah. You can find it in charity shops, on eBay, cheap as well. I'm sure you can probably get a PDF for free if you look on Google. That is Atomic Habits by James Clear. Very good book on building habits. This book I'm reading here is called Man Up. It's available on my website. I wrote it. I've screen printed it myself, and it's available on jackhalford.com. But let's continue. Breaking the mold, challenging stereotypes. To break the mold and challenge stereotypes, it's crucial to develop a different relationship with stereotypes rather than simply eradicating them. By doing so, we can create a society that is more inclusive and accepting, where individuals are not bound by rigid gender roles. This nuanced understanding of masculinity allows us to respect and celebrate the unique experiences and expressions of individuals, ultimately contributing to a healthier and more equal society. It's important to recognise the detrimental impact of stereotypes on men's mental health. As I said before, shockingly, statistics from the Samaritans reveal over 70% of suicides are committed by men. These figures highlight the urgent need to address the societal pressures and expectations placed upon men. To combat the stereotypes that perpetrate these pressures, we must start by changing ourselves and our reactions to the way other men express themselves. It is crucial to be critical and call out individuals who belittle or undermine others for expressing their emotions. So if you see other people belittling other men for showing their emotions or expressing themselves in slightly different ways to you, and it looks like they're uncomfortable, then call out your friends and say, look, stop being a fucking knobhead, you cunt. Make sure the other person's alright. It's not okay, and often I feel like people are just projecting their own feelings onto other people because they're just trying to be themselves, and these other men that are fucking bullies aren't being themselves. They're not expressing themselves authentically. They're just putting on this fucking costume and performing what they think being a man is. But of course, there's no fucking rigid, block mould for what a man is. There's lots of different things. There's lots of different jobs out there. There's lots of different styles out there, and you could be any one of them. Unless you're in fucking Afghanistan or something where you're shot if they think you're a little bit of a batty boy, as they say in some places. To combat the stereotypes that perpetrate these pressures, we must start by changing ourselves again, and our reactions to the way other men express themselves. Come on, we got to do it. We need to establish clear boundaries when it comes to banter, recognising that sometimes people take it to heart and that hurtful words can have long-lasting effects. It's essential to challenge and condemn any form of bullying, as a cycle of bitterness can lead individuals to become bullies themselves, lead them to cycles of self-destructive behaviour, and ultimately premature death, which I feel like is something that happens to a lot of people. My dad felt belittled by other men. He was told to man up. He was told to shut up. You're not in pain. He was in chronic pain all of the time. He's disabled, and he had a lot of mental health problems as well as physical problems. And because of his generation and his line of work, he was a carpenter and working on building sites and stuff. And when he couldn't do that anymore, he felt useless, which really affected his mental health and led him to sort of drinking a lot, and which helped to deteriorate both his physical and mental health a lot. And then also these people just not being supportive around him. People sort of look down on disabled people, especially if they're used to if they're not been disabled the whole time. The sort of people age, they get older, they get weaker. Sometimes it happens prematurely in life, and there's nothing wrong with it. And we need to support people more, especially men. Not look down on them, not look down on disabled people. We need to treat them with respect and dignity. They're people too. If you don't, you're shortening their lifespan, and you're being a cunt, and not in a funny way. So fucking stop that shit, because you're a cunt. I don't like you. Tosser. Yeah, what's nice and what's cool is to be authentic, to be kind to people, even if you disagree with them. Fucking kindness is the only way to be. And that's fucking hard as well. If you're pissed off with someone, or if you've just been brought up in a way where you do have these prejudices against people, it can be hard to change. But if you put in the effort, just fucking try and put in the effort, at least. Banter is okay. There is a line. I'm not saying be a softie. I'm just saying just be careful. People are at breaking point, and you never know. You don't want that on your head. Being a twat one day, the next week someone's topped themselves, and then you've got that on your head. And if you're just kind, they might have still done it, but you've not got it on your head so just fucking be kind. Do you know what I mean? By fostering an environment of empathy, understanding and respect, we can dismantle harmful stereotypes and create space for men to freely express themselves without fear of judgment or ridicule. This collective effort can promote positive mental health and well-being for all. Embracing the diversity of masculinity beyond the binary, beyond the old-fashioned black and white, because we all know men are way more nuanced than we let on. There are builders as soft as teddy bears and heavy metal fanatics who knit fluffy jumpers. Now, I don't say anything about hippies. I think hippies are twats. Generally, hippies are weirdos. A lot of them have a lot of money as well, which doesn't make sense because they always talk about being anti-capitalist and all of this. But really, a lot of them are from very, very privileged backgrounds. Very floaty fuckers. But people that are into heavy metal generally are right. That's a whole generalisation I've just made, but I like to piss people off sometimes because I think it's funny, and that's what I'm talking about. You can still have a laugh, and you can still joke about disabled people, you still joke about race, joke about fucking anything, mental health. You just got to do it in a way or it's not aimed at people, and you're not punching down. You don't make people feel like shit. It's got to be actually funny and make people laugh. And I think laughter is also a brilliant tool to help people feel better. Often crying can come from laughter, because you just like helps you to remember things. Maybe it just clicks something in your mind and then you can let it out. Laughter's basically crying. It's just a good way of letting out everything, letting loose and just fucking feeling better. So just, yeah. The more we engage with people who are different from us, the more we realise that they aren't so different. We all have a little bit of shit in us ready to shit out. Shit is the great equaliser. I stole that from the late great Sean Locke. It's a comedian that I really like a lot. And rest in peace, man. As a good comedian. Very nice. It can be a real challenge for people to accept the fact some people don't feel like the gender they were assigned with at birth, but the fact of the matter is they exist, and however uncomfortable you feel about that fact they exist and occupy spaces you might frequent, they will feel even worse because of all the shit they have to put up with from others and their own internalised hatred that takes a lot of work to quiet down. See, they hate themselves already, so don't fucking add to it. I've had a lot of friends who are gay, proper fruity, and myself have experimented with all sorts of stuff, and through this experimentation I figured out, yeah, I'm definitely straight. But also there's nothing to be scared of. People are different and they just want to live in peace. They want others who are like them to be able to live in peace and not kill themselves because of others constantly telling them they are not well or they are ill. They become ill because of all the shit they get, and it's not right. I would also say that although we should respect each other for who we are, this doesn't mean we should change our own beliefs to accommodate others. I'm just trying to say that everyone should mind their business unless it really does affect their lives. But I bet you it doesn't. So chill out, focus on yourself. It's common for men to experience personal growth and successfully overcome challenges, such as getting out of the rut or recovering from depressive episodes, and then become frustrated or angry when they witness others who are unable to do the same, or who do not conform to societal expectations such as losing weight or adhering to rigid norms. This reaction often stems from deep-rooted self-hatred that initially motivated their own desire for change. There's always going to be haters. If we can be positive, people have a better chance of surviving it, because it really does get to you. People die from the pressure, remember that. So even that, if you've fucking done it, like I've done it, it's also something you have to keep up and maintain. Remember that. Like, you think, oh, I'm alright now, I've done that half marathon, done that marathon, I think I've been to therapy a few times, I'm alright. And then it's very easy to just sort of stop for a couple of weeks and then feel really shit again. You're like, what the fuck happened? And then you can get back into that cycle. So remember, it's something to maintain. Don't look down on other people that are in a rut and they're not doing anything about it. Remember, you can't get other people to change. You have to change themselves. So you can only help them to get the tools and point them in the directions of people and groups that can help them. People have to want to help themselves. And so all you can do is remind them that they are worthy of that self-love, and to help them feel good by giving them compliments and just giving them a pat on the back, and just making sure that they know that they've got a supportive group of friends around them and that they're loved. Because often they might just be feeling really lonely, even if they're already in like a group of people at a pub or something. They might be fucking really lonely. They might not even want to be there, but they've found it really difficult to get there, and they're there and they're having a panic attack, but they're there and they're just feeling like really shit. So just try and check in on your friends and family and make sure that they are okay, because often people are not okay. And it will make you feel good when you do that for other people. As being a service to other people is something that a lot of people in groups like AA are interested in doing. That's one of the things that they do. And one of the things that I think people should just fucking do. I think it should be taught in schools. I was set homework actually by like a speech and language therapist when I was at school to compliment people. I think that's the best thing ever. I'd said that in podcasts before, set the podcast listeners' homework. I said, go out, compliment 1 or 2 people this week. And I think just a good practice to compliment people and make them feel good. The more you do it, the more it will become an automatic thing. You just start to notice things about people. You compliment them on it. You make them feel better. They'll be less self-conscious, especially if they're trying something new out. Just say, that's really good. You're rocking it, Makes people feel good. It's really difficult to be yourself, because especially when there's some kind of recession or a right-wing government in power, or this rising sort of right-wing fascism, or even left-wing politics, because they're like, it's just all of these fucking groups don't like the opposite to them. Whereas I just think, live and let live. Live and let live. Don't fucking kill anyone. And there's too much negativity in the world, and I don't like it. But at the same time, sometimes it's funny to be a knobhead. So it's just finding the balance of being a knobhead, but also not being an actual knobhead, just a knobhead that people laugh at in a funny way. Do you know what I mean? To me, being a man is about controlling emotions, competitiveness, strength, courage, temperance, and justice. So I'm talking about some stoic virtues there. I'm talking about courage, justice, temperance, and then I think the other one. So we've got strength, courage, temperance, justice. Strength isn't one of them. It's something else, probably honesty or something like that. It's about being able to fight and fend for yourself and provide for others. I think, though, that sometimes we ask too much of ourselves. We burn out, sometimes become easily irritated because of this, and then lash out. Anger is an energy that can be used for good, but a lot of the time it's punching a wall, it's disturbing order, it's creating chaos. We need to understand that we can let our emotions out in healthier ways, so that we do not lose self-respect and do not harm others, especially those we love. To combat this anger, this resentment, or any other bad, negative feelings, I journal, I speak to my mates I can trust about things, and I read books on stoicism and self-improvement. This is a constant you need to do to maintain a level head and a functional brain that isn't fucking all over the place. You have to maintain things. You have to maintain things by keeping. Look, I'm in a fucking chaotic studio now. Allow it, but most of the house and everything, trust me, is mostly clean and tidy. You have to keep on top of it, else it will turn into chaos, and then you really won't want to do it, and that's when everything can get hard. It's a good metaphor for your brain as well. If you don't maintain it by doing regular exercise and just talking about what's on your mind, it won't be good. So do what I say. Then I'm talking to myself. Do what you say, you bitch. Getting your feelings out on the page and understanding what triggers those feelings and how we can better respond in those situations is an important skill we must learn. Do you understand? So, journaling, understanding the triggers, and thinking about how we can respond in the future when those things come up, instead of reacting, instead of having that knee-jerk reaction. You fuck off, you cunt. I did that the other day in the yard at a van hire company that I frequent. I encountered a problem. I got in the van and then I was blocked in by other van. I was like, could you please move that out of the way, mate? There's a truck in the way. Did. Got round all these vans. There's another fucking van. I packed the Uter, and then there's a lad in the van, passenger seat. So I was like, you fucking move that van. Papping at him. I was revving the. I was, yeah, fucking. I was sure. Revved off out of the yard, and then that day went fucking. Oh shit. Sorry, my alarm went off then. Let's do another clap. Yeah, and that day was just fucking shit. The van broke down. I got the kids back to the school in time. That was fine, but the van broke down, so I had to ring the hire company to help. But the end of that day, I did apologise to the man that I swore at. I was like, I'm really sorry. The heat and everything got the best of me, and I was just like, I'm really sorry. That wasn't okay. I lost my temper, and he was like, it's okay. We all lose our temper sometimes. And I shook his hand, and then I felt better. And all the people there were sound, and they're all just trying to do their job at the end of the day. The thing is, it's okay. Sometimes you lose your temper. You just got to remember, people can understand. You apologise, and you do the right thing. You can come back from it. But what you also got to remember is when people are like that to you, there's something going on in the red. 9 times out of 10. So just, ask them if they're alright. I've learned that recently. Just asking people if they're alright can often calm them down. Don't tell them to calm down. That won't calm them down. Just ask people if they're alright. You right, mate? Do you want to come for a walk? Sometimes I don't want to fucking know any. They just want to fuck off for a bit. Just try and calm them down by being calm. Don't make the situation worse by not being calm and being a knobhead. It's really hard. It takes practice. We are always learning, though sometimes it takes something dark for us to learn, like a death, a breakup, losing a job or becoming ill. We must fight the urges to self-destruct, to react with our emotions, and instead pause and figure out what next steps we must take. We need to know what the problem is to fix it. So if the problem is you are feeling anxious when you go to work, you must figure out why work makes you feel that way. Is it the presence of a particular person, like a rude manager? Then once you've figured that out, try to rationalise your feelings towards the person you feel funny about. Maybe they are on the way they are because of shit they've been through. We all have problems, that's why they're a cunt. Maybe you're a cunt. Right, I'm going to quickly go and nip to the car, change the ticket on it. I'll be back in a sec. You won't notice because I'll edit this. I just went on a little break, ladies and gentlemen, so I needed one. Just got some pistachios. Don't know whose pistachios they are. They are now my pistachios. I'm very hungry. Normally right now I would have had some chicken and rice, but there is none. So I'm reduced to this squirrel-like food. At least this morning I did have my 6 eggs in wraps with cheese, yogurt, fruit, and then a protein shake on the way. Still hungry though. Probably because of the run I went on. Now I was talking about how I got really angry at a van rental yard, and how it's important to understand the importance of emotional regulation and practicing temperance, being calm. A good way to do this is running. That's why I like running, long distance running especially. It's a very mindful thing, and I think it helped me more than therapy did. Stoicism, forming habits, doing hard things on a regular basis built me into the man I am today. One that understands all this and will still throw all of that out of the window and forget it the next week. It's why I started the podcast, for God's sake. Just wanted something to do. It was a positive, productive thing. That with the running and stacking those habits. That one looks a bit dodge. Pistachios always look, it's fine in the middle. Pistachios do kind of look a bit weird, don't they? I mean, I'll eat that whole thing, but a lot of people would take this whole shell off them and just have the green bit, but that's shitty. Crack it open, get it in your mouth. It said on the packet, open and consume within 3 days, but I don't know how long it's been there, but it was in date, if you get what I'm saying. I think often we look at packets of things and think we need to chuck those things away, but we bloody well don't. I think food waste is a big problem. It's bad for the environment, and we need to start respecting food a bit more and thinking, no, I'm going to eat that. It's fine, there's nothing wrong with it. It smells alright, looks alright, I'll eat it. People are proper fussy, aren't they? You won't die. Like, if it looks alright, it's probably fine. The only thing you have to be careful with is like rice and meat. Well, everything really. And just cook the shit out of it. Fine. Turn it to pure black dust, it'll be fine. Compost things. Then you're not wasting it. Using it to make something you can help grow more food, plants, help the ecosystem. Flowers are good for bees. Bees help pollinate everything and make things grow, produce honey, you know. Help the ecosystem thrive by being active part in it. Plant things. If everyone planted a tree, we'd be better off, wouldn't we? Imagine if everyone on the planet planted one tree. It'd be fucking well good, wouldn't it? It'd be brilliant. There's people out there planting shitloads of trees. It's like a job you can get. It's a job you can get, mate. Planting trees. Imagine that as a job. Right, some of these I can't get open. Gonna leave them. Look at all that fucking shit that's left. I bet you could put this in compost to sort of like give it a bit of roughage. My granddad put like twigs and stuff in that would still be in. It's alright, you need a bit of that. I think it's alright, you know, a bit of roughage in the compost. Nice. Don't know how nuts can go off. They don't really get mouldy, they just get a bit hard, don't they? It's just a best before date, it's not a do not eat by date, or whatever you want to call it. Oh! Anyway, maybe you're being a cunt. Maybe you should try being nicer. If so, just try it. Be nice to people. I try quite hard to use my manners when out and about, whether in shops or whatever. I think it makes the world run more smoothly. It makes me feel better when I make someone smile. I've always regretted acting with my emotions in a negative way, instead of taking my time to pause. It really is difficult sometimes because we bottle a bunch of shit up. Might not be one thing that has made you angry, but a series of bad shit. Making a huge pile of shit block your eyes. It blocks out all the positive stuff, and you start getting pissed off at people for smiling. You ever get that when you're sort of just pissed off at people for smiling? Because they feel you think they're all smug and they're happy. How dare they be happy? It's a real big thing here in Britain where we sort of see people doing alright and being alright with being alright, and we think, not bad. How dare you be happy? How dare you not be looking down on the ground as you're walking to the shops being mardy? How dare you not be mardy? And down in the dumps all the time in grey Britain. Shit Britain. How dare you not be shit too? Shit as me, shit as you. Fuck off. Be better. And be positive and compliment people when they're trying hard to be better. Unleashing the fire within. I think I should stop reading from this now. I think everyone should buy it. Buy this. Man Up. From our website, jackhalford.com. The link will be in the podcast description, in the description on the video down below if you're watching. But it's pretty simple. jackhalford.com. jackhalford.com. Okay? Make sure you go there and purchase this fine book, or the ebook version, which will come to you in EPUB format. If that doesn't work, give me an email. I will send you the PDF version, but I like EPUB because it reads like a book on your phone or device. Very nice. Very good. Very sexy. Looks like we're running very low on battery now. I'm at 10%. On this laptop I'm recording the audio on. I'm going to have to wrap this up now. Thank you for listening to my brilliant, fantastic, amazing podcast. Please come and listen again next week. I wish you a happy day. You are very sexy and handsome or pretty. Thank you very much. Rate this 5 stars, please, or don't rate it at all, 5 stars only. Give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down on YouTube, whatever you fucking like. I don't give a toss. Engagement is all I want. Follow me on the socials, Jack T. Halford. That's what I am on Twitter and Instagram, now called X, of course, because it's X-rated. Yeah, make sure you check out the website. And just keep updated with everything I'm doing. Always doing new workshops, always got new things for sale. Oh, I will be. And I've got exhibitions that are up and coming. All of this good stuff. Probably new publication coming out very soon. Watch this space. Don't pre-order anything unless you understand it's a pre-order. You don't know. I don't know when it's going to happen. Blah, 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 blah. Bye bye. See you later, bitches. Fuck you, motherfucker.